Like,
well, here's the thing with the thing in Nebraska with the stairway.
Yeah, I mean that too. I mean,
it's like,
how much do you? I don't want to. You know, I'm trying to tiptoe around what we're talking about right now.
She knows about it.
Can I talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you after a show. Like, to put it in perspective, we're doing a show in Nebraska for 7 people.
Well, we had like 25 pre-sales, and only 4 of them showed up.
Only 4 pre-sales show up. So it's just a light show. It's a rough show.
I had a great time.
I mean, actually, it's not rough. I still had really fun.
Yeah.
Everyone bought, all 7 people bought it. But then about halfway through my cold open set, a girl comes in, and like a girl that's our age, because everyone else is like 45 to 55.
She was like 28 or 29.
Yeah, like around, and she comes in, sits down. Galyn is sitting like the room. Everyone's on one side, so you're essentially performing sideways. She sits down on this other side of the room by where Galyn's kind of sitting. I'm sitting
in the back of the last table in the back corner on the other side of where you're.
And
performing.
I'm not really looking over there because it's like I don't. First off, in shows like that, I don't ever want to look at my friends.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like I don't ever really want to look at you during a set. And like, I glance, and this girl is now sitting there, and she's like really close to you. She's kind of paying attention to the show. She's not really a huge problem during my set. Like, I can see her talking to you, but it's very minor. It almost seems like she's like, did I miss any of the show? Like, thinks you're almost an audience member or something.
Yeah, I didn't say anything to her. She was just talking in my ear. There was a point during your set where she leans over and she, like, grabs my thigh. And I don't like getting touched.
Yeah.
And so she, like, grabs my thigh. And so immediately I was, like, creeped out. I was like, motherfucker. And she, like, leans in and she goes, I love comedy. And I was like, I literally to her face said, yeah, you know who else loves comedy? All these other people who paid to be here. Why don't you watch the show? And she was like, oh, you're so funny. When are you going up? And I was like, the end. And then, like, literally.
Well, because she's like talking to you during like Andrew's set, like on
like
you,
loud,
on you, to the point where Andrew's like, "What are you doing, dude?" And like,
because he thought I was throwing games, so he like calls me out. I was like, "Dude, I'm not saying anything."
This girl just is like coming on you. You come back to me. I'm in the back now. My set's over, and you're like, dude, this girl will not leave me alone. Like, this shit is crazy. And so then, like, show ends, and she's immediately, I mean, she was dying at everything you said. She was answered every question you asked to the crowd. Show finishes. I'm cleaning up. She's all over you. You guys go disappear.
Well, what happened was, we're at the bar, and so I did this podcast in Nebraska, the Dad Man Cave podcast, which was fun.
Yeah, shout out them for coming out to the show.
And they were at the show, right? And so this is what the craziest thing is. I was trying to explain this to like Ray, is that like to these 2 dudes, I'm like a god. After this, because they do the research, listen to a bunch of episodes of the podcast, go through my entire Instagram page. They know all of these crazy stories that I have. They start asking me to tell these crazy stories on their podcast, and they're just dying because I'm telling these crazy stories. And then all of a sudden, I'm in their town, in person, in the flesh, talking to them. And right next to them, now they're in one of the crazy stories. Now they're part of it.
Dude, they were so, like, when it was happening, they were just like, bro, like, what's it like going on the road and seeing this? I'm like, actually, it's terrible a lot of moments, but it's pretty cool, you know?
So that's why, so I was, like, right next to her, and so she... because I'd walked away and gone to the bar, and so she was like, man, it sucks, because we were leaving after that gig. We were driving to St. Paul, and immediately after the gig. And so she's like, man, it sucks that you have to leave right away. And I was like, even if I were to stay in town, what would we do anyway? And she was like, I don't know, have some fun. And then I went and I checked my pretend checked a watch. I just looked at my skin, and I was like, well, looks like I have 10 minutes to have fun right now if you're down. And she was like, she like laughed, and she was like what? You want me to have sex in the bathroom? And I was like, nah, but you could suck my dick in the stairway over there. And she literally turned, grabbed her purse, and I just followed her to the fucking stairway.
Jeez.
And so like, and then she just sucked my dick.
Well, the craziest part is that all this happens, blah, blah, blah. Like, we leave, we look into who she is, and she's like, from Austin somehow.
Is she?
She said she was from Austin. That's the thing.
Oh, I don't remember that.
She's gonna pull. We said where this podcast is at the start of it. She's gonna be standing outside this door next episode, waiting for you.
I didn't know she was from here.
She said she's from Austin.
I don't remember that.
And the bartender pulled up her ID for us while you were getting topped off, because I was like, I want to look this girl up. So he's like, oh, let me give you her information. And so the guy pulls up her ID on like the computer, because he has to like put it in and stuff, you know. And he's like, this is her name. And yeah, I looked at her ID. It says she lives in Austin. Her address is in Austin. And then she said she was out there taking care of her like sick grandma. And then you found out that she has a boyfriend, which is, I'm just like, Jesus, like this.
I think because her Venmo, because she Venmoed me for the ticket.
Yeah.
And so I saw her Venmo, and so I like clicked on her like Venmo history, and it's like all just like with one guy, and it's like, for to get your nails done, fucking coffee on me, like stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this bitch has a fucking boyfriend.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was from Austin at all. That kind of
scandalous.
That kind of scares me.
Yeah. I guess I forgot to tell you that. Sorry to break that news.
Why would you not tell me that?
Sorry, man. I was so sad I had to drive immediately after that. I didn't want to ruin the dick suck.
Well, the thing that's crazy is that, so Ray's my girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And then for those people who don't know, she is also married.
Yeah.
And so we're in a relationship outside of that. It's just to catch people up to speed. It's called hot wifing. It's basically her husband feels that she's so hot that he has to share her. So we have a relationship outside of that. So she only sleeps with him and me, but I'm allowed to hook up with other people.
Yeah.
As free as I wanted. Her only 2 rules for me are wear a condom and let her know.
Yeah.
So she knows about this Stairwell girl. But here's the thing. Here's where like I fucked up is that when she was like being all crazy, being all touching me, and like and I came to back, I was like, this bitch is crazy. Like, don't worry, I'm not gonna do anything with this chick. Like, this chick is insane. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do anything. And like reassured her that I was like, don't worry. Mm-hmm. And then she was kind of just like, you say that now, but like I know you like to drink, so like you're probably gonna have a couple beers and like change your mind. And then I had a couple beers and I was like, well, maybe this bitch could just like suck my dick or something.
Yeah.
And then like, which is fine. Like I wasn't gonna fuck her, even if the chick was like, fuck me, I'd be like, nah, sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, you could just suck my
dick.
dick.
We gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah. And then and so then it was crazy because we're driving, and so like obviously I was gonna tell her that I hooked up with the chick because I have to.
Yeah.
And but like I was like, when should I tell her? And so she calls me, and she's having like a when we were driving, she's having like a bad night.
Yeah,
so
she's having a rough ass.
She was having a rough night,
yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, like I don't want to tell her now and like make it worse. Mm-hmm. And then I talk her down from whatever was going on, and then she was like, so that crazy girl ever fucking come and say anything to you after the show? And I was like, you want the truth? Because I always tell the truth no matter what. And so I was like, do you want the truth now or later? And she was like, what the fuck?
I mean, that's kind of giving her the truth right then and there, too.
Yeah, and so then she was like, what happened? And I was like, she came up to me, said some shit, and then, she sucked my dick in a stairway. And then she was like, she what? And I was like, she sucked my dick in a stairway.
Yeah.
And then... yeah, and so then she was just kind of like taken back. But here's the thing, what I learned from it is just like instead of like, obviously this whole thing is new to me, but like you gotta just open-ended conversation and like, or not communication, not conversation. Communication is instead of being like, I'm not gonna fuck this chick or I'm not gonna hook up with this chick, and then going and doing it.
Don't even mention it until
don't
even
mention it. And if you know what I mean, don't even mention it until it happens. Because then obviously we care about each other and stuff. And so like if I'm like out at a bar or something, I'm like I'm not gonna text her and be like, I think I'm gonna fuck this chick, and then I strike out, and now she's like, oh, now he wants to go fuck this other chick.
Yeah.
And so like it's just open-ended communication. And I don't even. Here's the thing, I don't even want to hook up with other people. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not actively swiping on Tinder. I'm not actively going up to chicks at bars anymore. I'm very happy and satisfied with what's going on.
That girl, I remember I told you after, I was like, that was Mickey Mouse head. Like that girl walked up and served it to you on a platter.
I know.
You're in an open relationship where it's like, that's an opportunity for you. And you're like, yeah, I wasn't out seeking it, but you're 12 days into a tour where you're allowed to get your dick sucked by someone if you want. And then this girl is like, basically like, please let me suck your dick. You're like, might as well almost.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's what I was saying, that like, I mean, dude, and when the chick was sucking my dick, I literally had my eyes closed and I was just like pretending it was Ray.
That's cute.
No, because I was just like, because it was better than I was looking down at this chick. She was like a 6.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
But like, it was also crazy because it was like, fuck, what was I about to say? Yeah, because when I explained it to Ray, I was just kind of like, man, I was going to jerk off that night. I was going to bust a nut that night anyway, whether I was jerking off or whatever. Might as well let this chick jerk me off for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might as well let this chick just suck my dick. I was going to bust a nut anyway. Might as well just use this chick.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to get used.
She
She literally was like, I've been waiting for this for 3 weeks. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
That was the wildest part when she kept saying that. I was like, all right, buddy. I wish they could have done a split screen parallel, because while you were just being a cool guy getting your dick sucked in the stairwell, I was hunched over in the car eating a Subway sandwich by myself.
Didn't you say that like the bartender was like making commentary or something?
Dude, yeah, they were literally coming up with stories where they were like, because I was like, I'm going to go eat my sandwich in the car. And they were like, just come in and eat it. And I was like, okay. And so like I came back in for a second, and then they were like, oh yeah, dude, I bet she's probably a man, and I bet she already bit his dick off, and he's bleeding out in the stairwell. You're going to take your boy to the hospital after this. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? What are you guys saying to me right now? I was like, all right, for sure. And then that was kind of just like, yeah, and then we got the fuck out of there. But
they all dapped me up like a motherfucker afterwards, because that's what I'm saying. Like, these dudes are like small town dudes. They've never seen some dude just like they don't know.
They've seen it in movies. They've
seen it in movies.
They literally should have played when you were walking out of there, been like, the song where it's like, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Like, that was playing as like fireworks shot off as you left. And they were just like, there goes that man, mama. Look at him go.
There goes that hero by Foo Fighters.
There goes my hero.
Which was the best part, because you know that, because that guy was the owner behind the bar. And so you know that every other crew of comedians that comes into town, they're like, do you know Galyn Nash?
He got his dick sucked in the stairwell. What are you pussies gonna do?
Yeah.
It's
so funny.
It's good ass tour though, dude. Thank you for taking me on.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Can't wait for the next one.
I know, for real. All right, we got to wrap up here, but I want to hear. You said you had a